Welcome back. In today's video, we'll do the death state for the player since it's dying the quickest. So let's go to the data asset for the player and let's go all the way down to the states and let's add a death state. So if you add a new one here, death, player death, and let's take a look at the conditions for player death. Player death, and the conditions here we have having a valid ability as well as the health being less than or equal to 0. Now, if we go to here and implement that death ability, let's see what we get. You get type death here, and we have player normal death, and the rest we're not gonna use for now. So let's go to normal death and let's take a look at the conditions this has. So the condition for death state, the death ability, sorry, is to have a valid death montage, and in our case, we don't. So let's go implement a different type of death state and create it right there. Now in my case, I just moved this here and I copied it with a copy, and I renamed my death to protector normal death ability, and I just removed the condition that was here. Everything else is the same. Now I'm gonna return true anyways because I know death state will only run if my health is equal to or less than 0. Once this begins, my pawn will ignore collision, and you can ignore this part, no problem. So know that this is going to run, and when this runs, this is gonna be invalid, and from there I'm gonna pick a montage that plays from the data asset. So let's assign a montage to the data asset. Death from protector, and let's add a montage to this. And I created one called die from the protector itself. I'm just going to move this to the protector folder right here. And one thing to note, I created a loop in here. I'll delete this and recreate it again. Just try to click here, create whatever name you have. I just call it loop, push it all the way down and click on loop. This way, when this montage ends, it will loop this last frame. And there's no need to end the current active ability because when death ends, well, death should not end in this case, so we're just gonna leave it as it is. And now let me assign the montage. It's already assigned here. And let me go play and try. Now he kicked me, so that's not going to kill me. So if you go here and to this state, now let me show you first where is this being called from. Now in Tempest base character, which is a parent of the player, anytime you receive damage and you're not dead, you don't have the state death active, you're gonna try to run this. So in our case, it's going to return false because my health is not less than or equal to 0. It's 90 right now since we only received 10 damage from the kick. Let's keep going. Another kick, same thing. Now this is the third time. Watch my health, 70. And this attack will kill me, so it will return true. 0, 0. And this one returned false, but this one returned true. Let's take a look at this one and see why this one returned false. Now in our scenario, we're checking the abilities it has for death, and we're returning the wrong ability. So let's change that one to protector, player normal death. Now let's try. Another kick. Now this one is going to kill me. My health is 0. This is returning true, and this is returning true. Let's remove this one, and as you can see, I died. Now we're gonna focus on the death for the AI. So let's take care of that one before we can wrap this video up. Let's go to the protector enemy. We're gonna do the exact same things we did for the player, but for the AI this time. Now for the states, we're gonna add a death state. This time for the enemy, and let's take a look at that one. Death, enemy death state, and the condition for that one being not being active, and one of the enemy abilities is turning true. This is the player, this is the AI. Let's see if we have a death for the enemy, and we have one. Let's take a look at this one and its conditions. Now the condition is the health being less than 0. Watch how the death for the player, the state, it was on the state. However, in the AI case, it was on the ability, but not the state. You can play with the order however you like. Whatever feels convenient for you, just go ahead and use it. So we're gonna use this one. Go back to the enemy and give it a certain montage. Death. And we already have that implemented, so it's not going to allow you to add a duplicate key, so you can remove this one. Go back here and change the death montage to something we have. Let's use the protector because it's the exact same, and double check what happens when this runs. Stops any active montage. Indability will not end, so you can keep this empty as in nothing will happen. And just play the montage. Let's see what happens now and try to hit the AI. And I hit him first and he's dead. Now watch his state. Enemy death state. And that's it. That covers this video. See you guys in the next one.